Welling, you're welcome aboard the Life Unscripted series. Today's topic is becoming who you are meant to be. So subscribe, like, share, and comment. Our channels shall be having the unscripted series for a very long time. It will come here to help you and enrich you. My guest Welling today is a very known man of valor. He has worked in different sectors and he has been around the clock in improving his life. So he'll be sharing with us whatever he has been doing and whatever has seen him through to make it in life. So welcome my colleague today that I have on board.
Thank you, moderator, Uncle PNM. I'm privileged to be part of this podcast, tagged the Life Unscripted series. I hope we are going to unpack a lot of knowledge and hope someone out there you could be able to pick one or two lessons from this podcast. Thank you so much.
Please.
Thank you.
Before we dive in, could you please tell our people out there who you are and really what you do?
Thank you, my host today. I myself am a simple guy. You can call me a local man. Most people call me Omuntu wa Wansi. Isaac Musimenta is my name, and I happen to have been brought up into, a family that loves God, a family that, socializes with the community. And yeah, here I am to share my experience, of course, and my personal opinions about today's podcast. Basically, that's me. Of course, I hold a Bachelor's of Science in Petroleum Engineering, and apparently I work in the oil and gas sector. Thank you.
That's very great. And I've heard you really brought it the Ugandan way, that you Omuntu wa Wansi.
Yeah, sure.
And that really echoes and sits in well with our community out there, because most of us are coming from that background and we really want to reach those points that we see ourselves making it. So what did it bring to your mind when you heard of this topic personally to you?
Of course, in terms of how we are raised, I had to mention family first, because our background matters. Where we come from, it's really a very big difference in the way how we grow and how we are brought up. So when it came to this podcast, of course, one of the focus and the highlight of my opinion and what I would want to share from the start, it's all about the growth. So in trying to, to metaphor from one stage to another in one way or the other, you have to embrace growth. So to me, in trying to become who you are, basically it's all about growing into someone you really dream to be and growing into someone you really see you can become. Thank you.
That's true, because I see very many young people out there. We grow up with a mentality of role models, looking at people that we want to be. And most of us had dreams of becoming pilots, doctors at those tender ages, but as we evolve, life gives us another direction.
Yeah, true.
So this will lead us to another point where I will ask you that. So how has your career shaped you right now in becoming who you really want to be? Because I know it's a journey. We can't say that you were not somewhere. At least we are somewhere. We're still moving. So you tell us how really you're trying to cope up with the situation at hand.
Yeah, thank you. Basically, if I'm to again pick it up from where I stopped, again, in terms of growth, you experience different types of growth along the way, because growth is going to come with different challenges. It's going to come with different experiences. So there are things that you will have to adapt to. There are things you will have to embrace along the way for you to be able to grow in a certain season. So in terms of what I have had to embrace, I had to embrace growth in a way that how do I define my seasons? In terms of defining seasons, you are going to define a season and then be able to move in that very season that you are in. So, for example, looking at the times you start growing as a kid, I mean, your parents focus on taking you to school. So right away from kindergarten, there is a purpose they want you to have. There is a sense of belonging they want you to adapt to, and then start evolving. So for me, it just started from that end to where I was able to evolve till uni, and then of course get into the professional world of work. So to me, I can say it's been a good experience. It's been really a quite challenging, platform for me to evolve, to see that young boy growing and, getting through all the challenges that we have to get through, and then, trying to also become someone, as always our parents of course expect a lot from us.
A lot.
You have to try by all your means to become someone that you want to be. Thank you.
So that reminds me of what my parents used to tell me every time. As you leave home, as you said, poor backgrounds or humble backgrounds, they usually tell you go and do it. You see what you've left home. They used to tell me, don't try to do your best, but do your best.
Yeah, sure.
Truly, because I know everyone out there, they have their mountains. So to you, what are those internal struggles that you've tried to, or you've encountered while trying to evolve?
Yeah, of course, as human beings, again, I will re-echo, we have different backgrounds, and how we've been raised, of course, is different. And I've always told my friends, in a way, you're trying to, challenge yourself to a certain task, or maybe to achieve a certain target. The first thing I think you've got to be yourself, because the challenges that are always inbuilt within us, they are the first barriers that we need to really work on. Me personally, I think one of the biggest challenge I have had some time back, self-doubt. I had a challenge of self-doubt. Like, I mean, you're focused on something, you want to achieve a goal, but then there is that other inner voice that tells you you cannot do it. Or maybe the colleagues are around, they are telling you, I think this is not for you, or this is not meant for you. So again, it takes precedence that when you go back to your inner self, or maybe you reflect on something you want to work on, how do you now come to reality and know what you're supposed to do at that very moment? So there is a lot of negativity again that brings, of course, the self-doubt, not you as a person. But to me personally, there are some instances where I could reach, of course, and maybe doubt myself. Like, for instance, in school, maybe like at uni, I remember while I was in my vacation, I really wanted to do civil engineering, but then I had my other cousins telling me you cannot do civil engineering, and also trying to tell me this is maybe what is good for you. But within me, I really wanted to do civil engineering. But of course, along the way, you reflect, you sit and try to analyze and see the best options that you can take as a person or as an individual. So self-doubt is one thing you need to really look out for and be able to make sure that you avoid it. The other challenge is, of course, the reflection on the things you want to do in terms of looking ahead. So I think most of the times the biggest enemy is to start, to avoid starting, because most of the times it's not until you start that you start to reveal things, that you start to reveal new opportunities or new platforms that you didn't even knew about. For example, I remember when it came to uni, I somewhere the course I wanted, I did not apply for it. I ended up applying for chemical engineering, but along the way still I again changed the course to petroleum. So again, this is something that comes with you discovering what you're good at and be able to beat all the other setbacks that could derail you from, getting something that you want or something that you are looking at achieving in the long term. So I think the biggest highlight of this is looking at, the long term, short term, and the medium term of how you want to progress with your goals. So to me, basically, it has been, I had to fight with self-doubt, and also being patient was very key, because there are things that you're going to see you want to achieve, but they are not really coming closer and you're not seeing them. So the fact that you've got to be patient and faithful, it can be a very, very big challenge to most of us. And to me, it's an area where I had to, lift myself and be able to grow and, stand out. Thank you.
All right. So with that, I thank you for the sharing. And this is where I remember where they used to tell us better days ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Better days ahead. But you'd look at the better days and really you couldn't see any. But as you grew up, things start unveiling themselves.
Yeah, sure.
So in that belief of better days, we really kept on moving on. And it's in this point that I am asking myself, are people born with purpose? Do you believe that people are born with purpose, or each individual discovers their purpose along the way?
Of course, when it comes to purpose, I think it's a progressive development, that along the way, an individual or the people around you could help you. But purpose as an individual, it is something you're going to have an intimate relationship with and be able to bond with it. Because along the way, you as a person, you have your personal goals.
Sure.
And there is this person you look towards too. Maybe there is this role model you've seen over the years where you are growing up, and you're like, wow, I would want to become this person. So it is something that you have to develop internally within you on a progressive curve. So along the way, of course, purpose keeps on, being, revamped and revamped and revamped. You keep on improving on your purpose, because purpose has to align with your goals. That is one. Secondly, purpose has to be a reflection within you. You have to reflect on what you really want to do and focus on that real purpose. Because again, if you do not focus on the purpose, then you could find yourself astray. So to me, I think you are born, and as of course, even God speaks about it, God's children, we are meant to live for a purpose, not just, being born and you are just there. Even our parents, they expect us to, to perform or to act in a different personality that, dignifies their image, also our image. So in terms of purpose, it is something that you develop progressively and keep improving. I think it's one of the highest indicators if you are looking to become someone, or you're looking to become someone, or a person of integrity, or a person that is, looking at achieving different goals. It is something that you've got to focus on. Thank you so much.
All right. Well said. I can't add more on that, because they say living a life without purpose, you have no direction.
Yeah, sure.
So if you out there and really want to get somewhere, find your purpose, work on it, and have have it as your goal and to make it so that everyone looks up to you the way you look up to other people.
Yeah, sure.
So that's very nice. And so Bwana, I would like to know, all the viewers out there would like to know, how would you handle situations when your reality does not reflect the vision or where you want really to be?
Again, when it comes to seasons, like I have shared with you before, we happen to operate in different seasons. And of course, not every season is going to be successful. That is one. So you've got to embrace all seasons the way they come. Some seasons are going to be purposeful. Some seasons are going to come your way, and you see yourself you're growing. I mean, either career-wise or family-wise, or maybe in terms of the investments that you're making. So to me, the first thing is I embrace all seasons, and then pick out the positives from those seasons and be able to keep moving. Because at the end of the day, a certain season is going to require you a certain level of discipline, a certain level of conduct that you need to act for you to be able to endure into that specific season. So for me, the first standout for me is embracing all seasons the way how they come, regardless of the challenges they come with, and then be able to grow and adapt within a certain specific season. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's very good because as the Bible says, our God is a God of all seasons.
Yeah, sure.
Whether you're harvesting, whether you're planting, whether there are hailstorms, He's always with us. So we should just keep in mind that we have to persist so that we move throughout all the seasons, because there are seasons of growth and seasons of also evolving. And as it is, as you plant, you will sow.
Yeah, sure.
So as you're planting, you may not see the seeds grow and sprout, but when the harvesting time comes, really, we enjoy it.
Yeah, true.
And that brings out to the area or atmosphere of saying that what advice do you give someone out there if they are feeling they are lost right now or they are stuck in life? Because people may have different projections of their life, and right now where they are, they feel like there's this wall between what they projected and what they are experiencing right now.
Yeah, sure.
So how do you tell, or which advice do you give to the people who feel stuck or lost right now?
For me, I think one of the hindrances, by the way, that we've always faced is the peers around us. It has been a very, very big challenging, factor in trying to become who we want to be. And time is very important because I always promise myself that I'm never too late to do something or to start. So I think someone outside there, it should be the same, syndrome that we adapt, all of us, in terms of, trying to take that one step and you begin. It could be that business that you've been, planning to start. It could be that course in terms of career you've been wanting to maybe pursue. Yeah, any kind of, project that you want to do. I think the first step is to start. So I do not say, myself putting, time limits. Yes, we always have, different timelines. We want to achieve a certain project or a certain goal, but we are never too late. That's one thing I always remind myself, and I always remind my colleagues. So if you feel you can do something, you are not too late. Start. That's where the journey of becoming actually starts from, because not until you start, you do not get a revelation of some of the things.
That's true.
So most visions have died like that. I mean, you've thought of something, you hear a friend telling you, by the way, I wanted to do this kind of business. But because they did not start, certain destinies have been buried like that. So the moment you've thought about something, you've really had a reflection on it, you feel you're good to go, start. Doesn't matter the momentum you're in. Starting is always a big challenge. By the way, you are not that good to go, but the fact that you take a step and you start, along the way you keep discovering a lot of magic that keeps you going, and who knows, at the end of the day, you achieve. So it's never too late. Just keep focused and start the journey. When it is well embraced, you get to learn from it, you get to learn a lot of experiences from it, and at the end of the day you become the real person that you want to be. Thank you so much.
All right, that well said. You remind me of something they say: you start with one step.
Yeah,
So it's the first step that marks.
sure. Yeah, sure.
It's the landmark that gives that this and this has started. And if you start something, pretty be sure you have to start it alone.
Yeah, true.
Because most of the times we may keep on waiting for others, and we may keep waiting forever until you start alone, and maybe others could join you along the way. So for this, would like you to give us, if it were a takeaway for our listeners out there, what would you tell them?
Yeah, of course, our esteemed viewers on our podcast show, my takeaway is very simple. Let's embrace life the way it is. I know we all have different aspirations in terms of how we look at, life, how we want to stand out in terms of our families, in terms of the projects we do, in terms of, the work we do. My key takeaway is don't wait. The moment you think about a plan, please make sure you put it on paper and then you act it out. Because, like as I've said, you do not want to blame yourself at the end of the day for a destiny you did not discover, or you discovered and then it ended in a one-day event. So I think we just have to keep going. That is one. Two, we have to embrace the different experiences that we encounter in different seasons, and then be able to stand out. Because at the end of the day, the people, the role models we see, the people we want to become, they do not wake up and become a certain personality they are. Definitely, there is a lot that happens behind the scenes that we may not know. For any other successful person would tend to have in their DNA. So to me, we are all capable. Just avoid outside noise. Focus on yourself. I always tell my boys, as a man, you've got to discover yourself. There's a time you're going to isolate yourself. Go and focus on who you want to become. Because for a man, it is even more hard that you're becoming someone who could be, given the mandate or the trust to take care of someone's daughter maybe in future. So you've got to stand out and, start evolving right away from the day you were born. So these are the things that you need to be yourself. Just be yourself. Start small where you are and keep evolving. Along the way, you are going to make yourself proud, and you are going to say, look, this is the journey we've moved. So it is something that we need to take in. Just keep moving, because life brings to us different, games and different challenges. So how you look at the challenges and use them as an opportunity is something that, sets you apart from the rest. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That reminds me of mindset. So the way you perceive a situation gives us the result of how you overcome the situation, or you overcome the challenge that is before you. So our dear listeners, we thank you for your time, and we ask you to stay tuned on the Life Unscripted series. We'll bring you a lot more exciting stories and more topics to engage us and have us evolve in our life. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, reshare, send, and see you again. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.